All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our first of only two matches on the day. It was supposed to be a Na'Vi triple header, but unfortunately, their opponents for Game 1, Insane, have gone fully off the rails, mentally deficient. They were unable to field 5, so they forfeit. That leaves us with some inaccurate stats here. These are Na'Vi's lifetime stats, which are actually pretty damn impressive, but... yeah, we've got Na'Vi versus Aware coming up. Following this match, hopefully we will also have Na'Vi versus Sigma. Big match for Na'Vi. Not so big for Aware, although they would like to hopefully avoid relegation. Looks like these Aware stats are not correct either. We'll just use the grid instead. But anyway, with that being said, I'm LDV on the summit. I'm joined here by Hippie, and guys, we may have some audio adjustments to make, so just let me know on the fly if things are good, if he's too loud, if he's too quiet, and so forth and so on, and we'll get it sorted as quickly as possible. Anyway, Hippie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I hope my boisterous voice isn't just kind of all over the place and too loud for the viewers. But I'm pumped. I haven't gotten to cast a Na'Vi game in ages. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, it's been. I've been casting a lot of them on and off, but it's just like it still feels like they're not fully back yet. They've had some good wins. They've had some questionable moments, and you know, it's like I feel like you never see the real Na'Vi until they're actually on land. But with that being said, as you guys can hear, the draft is underway, so we're gonna go ahead and hop on into it, and let's see if I can do this properly. We've got Na'Vi on the left. Yep, Na'Vi on the dire side. Oh man, I actually did it. All right. I know it sounds silly, but for some reason the Starladder overlay software way harder to figure out than it should be. It says Na'Vi left, Aware right, but I'm looking at the top of the screen and it's Aware left and Na'Vi right, so life is hard.
Overlays in general frustrate me. See, that's why I just co-cast, so I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. I let you guys handle that.
Good man, good man. So draft is well underway. Getting into it now, Na'Vi first overall pick. They banned out Dazzle and Invoker, two heroes that are quite popular in CIS. I mean, Invoker everywhere and Dazzle more so in CIS, I would say. And in the West in general. Not really an Asian support hero, but they first pick Ember, not too surprising, and Aware, well, they want to give us another 80-minute game. That'll be the goal. They've gone for the Naga Ancient Apparition. Whether they'll be successful remains to be seen, and Na'Vi will just follow up with a Centaur for Funnick. So it looks like a Dendi Ember, a Funnick Centaur, although it is possible they could mix the rolls up a little bit, but that's what I'm looking at now anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Na'Vi run kind of the weird position Centaur. Teams that are more likely to do that. Fnatic, I know sometimes does like an Era Centaur, and they swap things around a little bit, but I don't think I'd expect Na'Vi to mess with that too much. I'm a little... Why do you think Aware banned Lifestealer? That's not something I'd usually see as like a first ban material sort of hero. Do you think they just really hate dealing with it? Even as good as Havost is on that hero, it's just...
seconds remaining.
I don't know, can't you think of something a little better to get rid of? Like maybe that Ember Spirit that got first picked?
It's just a Havost hero. I don't know. I think it's just... It's what Havost is comfortable with. Actually, Na'Vi haven't been running it as much lately, but just something you'd probably rather... You put them out of their comfort zone, but I don't know. I agree. I think it's odd to ban them in the first stage especially. Like, maybe in the second stage if they haven't picked a carry, but... Yeah, I would ban Ember probably as well. I guess the other consideration is maybe they wanted Naga and figured if they ban Ember, Na'Vi will just first pick Naga and then they'll get nothing. So,
yeah, trade-offs.
Well, with that being said, Rubik's the choice here for Aware. So, looks to be a solo mid Naga, support Rubik H Apparition. That would leave Aware needing an offlane and a carry hero as of yet. And... we'll see. I do worry for Aware, though. Not really any reliable lockdown for this Ember Spirit. Ensnare, quite useless against the Remnants, and, I mean, just in general, no proper stuns, aside from Rubik Glyph. They don't have any natural Orchid builders, so, well, if you're not going to shut down the Ember, then you better outfarm him, and I guess the Naga is the Weapon X to try and make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's not... I'm not sure I can think of a hero that works well in the current meta that goes good against Naga in the late game. She gets that fast Radiance. But I would like them to draft something with some kind of silencing potential. I think you could theoretically put the Naga in the 1 position if you wanted to for Aware and just run this very defensive and maybe get a Puck for mid lane to get the silence for the Ember Spirit and some better lockdown overall. And also, it's really useful against the Centaur ultimate. If he pops the ultimate, you catch a couple people in the coil, you've nullified half of that ultimate right there.
Yeah, and... the Naga just a good like defensive hero, I guess, to deal with the all the initiation Na'Vi has. So whenever they go in, you just pop Naga and kind of wait it out. So Not a bad way to go, guys. I do apologize if the Dota TV audio was not working. Hopefully it should be fixed now. Well, in 2 minutes for everyone on the live stream, but when you hear this for Dota TV, hopefully it's resolved. If it's not, just let me know and we'll try and get it sorted. But as for Aware, 4th pick, they'll need a safe lane farmer, most likely, and still an offlaner. In terms of offlaners, Bat was banned, but otherwise they pretty much got their pick. There's Darkseer, Clockwork, Doom. Some teams have been running as kind of a niche offlaner. I think if Aware can fit a Doom into this draft, that would be a good pick for them, because I still just feel like they don't have proper lockdown for this Ember at all.
Yeah, and obviously something to control the Ember, but then because obviously it's going to be the Ember mid and you're going to have the Luna, and even the Centaur is someone you don't really want to deal with those spammable spells, you're going to run into the problem of you can Doom one and you still have 2 more problems running around. I mean, you know, why we see Doom traditionally used against the single core lineups, shut down the 1 core, but against a dual core, what could very theoretically be a strong tri-core if the Centaur gets any sort of farm for Funnick, I'm not sure. I think it's a risky pick.
Well, if it's not a Doom, it's got to, like, the bottom line is they need multiple sources of lockdown. Either one massive team fight hero, but I don't know. Like, to me, it's like you get Doom, and then you probably need something else as well. But I just feel like, what are they going to go for otherwise? They can't not get any lockdown for these heroes. Clockwork, not really going to cut it against Ember.
Turn to pick.
Their team fight's good for Aware, but Na'Vi, if they don't want to take fights, right now there's nothing that Aware can do to force them, really.
Well, I mean, if you catch a couple people in bad position with the Naga song or the Clockwork hook, and you cog a couple of people out, you can get some things from a decent range to try to set up fights. But there's no, I mean, you're right. There's no real push pressure. I mean, Aware's just going to be sitting back, farming for most of the game, trying to get that Naga massive, trying to split push with her. So yeah, no strong 5-man engage. They're not exactly going to have the ability to go into Roshan, especially not from the Radiant side.
Yeah, it's decent lockdown for Luna until she gets BKB, and then you hook her and she just laughs and kills everyone. Aware's still pretty lacking on physical damage, so BKBs will mostly deal with their lineup. At the same time, Na'Vi, Go Venomancer here, so they do need a lot of farm. I mean, that's the one downside for Na'Vi. Ember, Luna, even Centaur, these cores need quite a bit to truly have an impact mid-game, and maybe Aware can look to punish that with some mid-game fights, but if it just turns into a standard, like, Radiance Naga game, and she just wants to farm, well, Na'Vi, first of all, have 2 carries that are great at dealing with Naga illusions. Ember and Luna, probably, like, 2 of the top 5.
10 seconds remaining.
So I think they can take it late. And, Aware, to me, Aware is just, like, very much a mid-game lineup. If they try to just go for, like, the, Arteezy style, like, 7-slotted Naga, I don't think that's played into Navi's hands.
Yeah, I really think so, too. Just the fact that in the late game having, I mean, not just, even if you had heroes who were less excellent at dealing with stuff like Naga illusions, you still have 2 very strong right-clickers in the late game, and Centaur, whose impact is felt with those huge stuns. The double edge is significant pretty much for the whole game. 400 AoE damage is never going to fall off that hard.
Tinker the choice. Well, this does give them some reliable lockdown for Ember. Gives them a hero that can go late against Ember and Luna. So I actually like this choice a lot in terms of the Tinker. Like, their draft was already headed towards the global strat, the late game, and if they can execute it, I think Aware can take it. But they definitely needed something like the Tinker here. So
absolutely. And if the Tinker gets shut down, I think they're in terrible trouble. I think that's probably their biggest weakness. If either the Tinker or the Naga gets shut down, what do you do for the rest of the game? I mean, you basically have to win both of those lanes, and that's kind of a tough thing to guarantee when you have heroes like a Centaur and a Venomancer, and now a Beastmaster from Puppey. I haven't seen Puppey on a Beastmaster. Is this something new, or have I just missed the games where he's practiced?
No, this looks like a 4-core draft. I guess we're gonna see some jungle Beastmaster. Maybe Puppey just dedicates himself to stacking Ancients. Well, let me go ahead and show our in-game overlay. Starladder Europe. All right, we're all set. Guys, regarding the Dota TV Echo, hopefully will be fixed in 2 minutes. I reduced my volume by 50% on... Unless... Yeah, I don't know. Unless you've got speakers and you're looping my audio back inside the game, Hippie. But
no, I got headsets.
Okay, so hopefully it should be resolved in like a minute and a half or so, guys. But let me know if it's not. Anyway... First match for Na'Vi on the day. They really need a win here. Ideally, they want to beat Sigma as well. And then I think they're guaranteed a spot to the LAN finals. But at least wanting to take 2 or 3 wins today. They got 1 forfeit. We'll see if they get any more. But on the dire side, you've got Na'Vi, Funnick handling that offlane Centaur. Dendi, your solo mid Ember has been pulled. Puppy, going to be running a Jungle Beastmaster. Already saving some gold for Sentry Wards, it looks like. Kuroki on the Venomancer, and that leaves Havost as your safe lane farmer. Aware, we're worried about a level 1 Roche attempt. And speaking of Aware, formerly Cleave, they are going to smoke and head right into Funnick, who was AFK. Oh, asleep behind the wheel. He does get off a 3-hero stop. Is he really going to live after this? I think he might. One more right click. It's still the chilling touch damage, though. Oh, they get the first blood. Pretty sure Funnick went to get a drink or stepped away from his computer, and he was very slow to react there.
Yeah, and you know, even when he did react, getting like a perfect 4-man stomp like that was pretty ridiculous. But that chilling touch, ugh, probably the strongest level 1 spell in the game for any sort of fight like that.
Yeah, it really was. Well, we'll introduce him right now. You've got, what is it? I think someone said it's Tron. Is that right?
For
who's the guy whose name is spelled funny, but it's like Cyrillic and it's pronounced Tron? Is that not Shaco? I call this guy Shaco, but
it might be. I always call him Shaco.
I think he might be the one whose name is pronounced Tron. But for now, we'll just say Mr. X playing the offlane Clockwork, Lolik on the solo mid Tinker. You've got Stress on the Rubik, Roger on the H Apparition, and in the safe lane, Yamaha playing the Naga Siren.
So they did decide to go for the safe lane Naga with the Tinker in the mid. And I honestly, I mean, I know Naga mid is strong, but it's just not my style a lot of the time. And with kind of the return to the, you know, get the Naga really massively slotted, go for constant split push pressure, I really like having either a tempo controller or even just someone to divert attention from the Naga like the Tinker in that mid lane. Obviously, you know, it works for Arteezy, but that's kind of because Arteezy is basically the one position mid laner, you know?
Yeah. By the way, guys, I think I figured out what the issue with the mic was. It was not the volume, but I did change it. It should be fixed in 2 minutes from now. If it's not, let me know. But yeah, Puppy going for some creep farming, has the regen rune, and well, it'll just allow him to be a little more efficient in the woods. He's gone early Stout Shield, early Quelling Blade, did not need to buy Sentry Ward, so I like that play from Puppy. Just save the gold in case they do ward off your jungle, but otherwise just get the Quelling Blade. And this is going to be Game of Ancients. As you mentioned, Aware have warded off the Na'Vi Ancients, but they do have their own available, and both teams can easily clear the stacks. There's like 4 or 5 heroes that can do it, so this could be a farm war, man. This could definitely be a farm war.
Yeah, and I really think that favors Na'Vi. I mean, you have obviously you have kind of the almost 4-core lineup with Puppy on the Beastmaster. They knew they were going to be able to get away with this greedy lineup because of the fact that Aware isn't going to have a lot of rotation potential. Until the Clockwork hits 6, there shouldn't be a ton of ganking going on. So, you know, you get away with farming Dendi in the mid lane. You get away with farming Puppy in the jungle. So you have that wonderful, wonderful lockdown. For the Tinker especially, I think he's going to have a lot of pressure once Puppy gets some levels.
Nice. Yeah, and Beastmaster's not the fastest jungler, but he's pretty efficient compared to some. As you see, he's clearing out some trees here in the woods, hiding from these Clockwork illusions, it looks like. Although the Clockwork is actually just going to stick in his lane for now. And mid-game, then, you know, look at Navi's lockdown, you've got the Centaur and the Beastmaster. And even a hero like Ember is pretty good at, if you go blink into the trees, he can just Sleight of Fist, and if he's good with the combo, Searing Chains you, cancel your TP, and then your Blink's disabled and they can kill you. So I feel like Na'Vi have overall the better lockdown until Tinker gets maybe a Scythe, but that's like looking like 20, 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, especially if there's a lot of pressure coming out from the Veno, from the Centaur, from the Beastmaster in the mid-game. That Tinker is going to be so squishy trying to farm that up. Oh, they see Puppy with that low life. The Clock Illusions see him.
Yeah, does Clockwork have a rocket? It is level 2.
Boom, there it goes.
I heard it. I heard it. Oh, not enough. Oh, no, sorry. It was only level 1. He was level 2. Duh. Derp. I think a level 2 rocket gets that kill there. That's a little unfortunate.
I'm not quite sure with the magic resist. It might have been like 1 or 2 HP, but it would have been very, very, very close. He's got another rocket fire.
Funnick, nice play. Waits for the net, then TP's out. And they'd already used the lift. They really have to reserve a stun to cancel TP, but there just wasn't going to matter. The rocket, as you mentioned, is coming in. Puppy, he sees it. He jukes it at the last second. Looks like the summons gave him the vision there. Was that right? I think he saw it coming.
On top of that, Tinker actually left lane and fired off a homing missile at him to try and get him low enough, so he's lost a little bit of experience to Dendi right now.
Yeah, and now he's going for the ancient stacking, but this early jungle Beastmaster is going to just block off the camp. So,
what a troll.
Oh, Puppy. This is pretty clever. You know, we have seen jungle Beastmaster before, but this is like specifically in the context of shutting down the Tinker's Ancients, which is pretty next level, I gotta say.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like for a jungle Beastmaster, I feel bad that I'm here and not Merlini. Because, you know, of course, the classic 3-camp rotation.
Yeah, he should. I have not seen him do it in a long
Funnick
time.
and Bottom River. Don't think he's going to go down. No, the cold feet isn't going to take effect. Lots of damage coming out from that chilling touch.
Yeah, he's gonna have a bad time though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anytime you're solo against a tri-lane with an AA in it, you just you're gonna have a bad time.
So it seems like, let's see, is my Dota TV audio still not fixed? Trying to see. The mods are not replying to me. I might have to restart Dota 2. If we have a pause, I'll definitely do it, guys. Otherwise, I guess this would probably be a good time. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and restart it. If I miss a kill, I do apologize, but don't want to leave the ticket holders hanging. So sorry to everyone watching on the stream. We'll be right back inside the game. And Hippie, in the meantime, cover for me, man.
All right. Well, we got, you know, Havos just kind of farming up in the top lane. He's doing all right for himself. Looks like he's going to get the Rush Midas out at 5 minutes. Just finished it up. 32 and 11 CS sitting for him. A little bit ahead of the Nagas, sitting 29 and 14. She, too, might be going for... I mean, she's got, obviously, the Bass Ring, so she's probably not going for the Rushed Midas. Probably just going for that Rushed Relic, sitting on about 1,400 gold right now. Not sure she wants to be, you know, going that long without boots, with the possibility of Navi's rotations coming in a reasonable time, but she's going to be okay for at least a few more minutes.
Well,
Dendy trying to put pressure on mid lane. You back?
Yeah, I'm back, buddy. Good job.
Right.
Good job covering for me. You did great.
I do my best.
You done good. And yeah, comparing the two offlaners, it's a level 4 Clockwork, level 4 Centaur. So the offlanes have been fairly even thus far, and like you said, Navi running more of a tri-core. Actually, Tinker already coming top. Looks like they're worried about a potential push from Havost and Kuro, but, well, the push is over now as Tinker has spammed out a March. But yeah, these Ancients, they're not happening for either team, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger deal for Aware, though, because they really need that Tinker to be able to exert map pressure and open up space for that Naga. If he can't do something like that, I don't see their mid-game being particularly strong. Nice double chains coming out from Dendy, putting a little pressure on mid lane, taking half health away from that AA.
And this just goes back to Aware's draft. Like, Dendy's hit level 7. He's got the levels, he's got the ultimate. You can't actually gank him anymore. They can't kill him without, like, just massive, overwhelming damage, but Tinker's going March build, very standard, and oh, top lane. I do miss the Rubik going down. Eclipse was there, and that's Havost with a Midas and now a kill. So Havost getting fat, but yeah, they can't kill the Ember. Like maybe with if Tinker went laser rockets, but he needs the boots of travel. He was counting on the Ancients, and he's not getting the Ancients either. So they're in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I feel like he needed the laser rockets if he wanted to outlane the Ember. I agree with that. I've actually played that matchup on the Ember side, and if you're expecting a March build and you don't go Flame Guard, it's terrible. You suddenly are just taking way more damage than you can deal with in lane, and it's very frustrating. But at the same time, if he goes that laser rocket build, he kind of cripples his mid game because he needs to be able to port around, he needs to be able to get the farm going, and he needs to take pressure off of these lanes to make room for the Naga, as I've mentioned. So I think it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're either going to lose your lane to the Ember Spirit, and he's going to be big in the mid game, or you're not going to be able to exert kind of the pressure you were drafted to put out.
Yeah, he's still farming okay. Soul Rain Soul Rain's out. He's got the bottle, no talisman of boots, but still, by the time he gets his boots of travel, it's going to be like 10, maybe 11 minutes in, and that's a lot of time for Navi to have a Midas online for a Vost. Puppy getting okay levels out of the woods. And the one thing Navi has not done, which I'm a little surprised about, they have not stacked their Ancients at all. But maybe we'll see Puppy send a bull, or not a bull, a boar down there soon to start stacking it.
Needs to be a bull skin for that thing, a cosmetic item. Turn into a bull that just
For
shoots
some
its
reason I was
horns at
thinking
you.
Bulldog, and then I was thinking Boar, and Bull was what came out. I don't know.
Admiral Boar Dog.
Admiral Boar Dog, indeed. Well, where I was being pretty efficient in elsewhere in the woods. They've got 3-4 stacks, so Ancients have been denied, but Lolik will catch up here pretty nicely. So it's not as good as Ancient stack, but it'll do in a pinch and gives these supports some much needed levels as well. So actually not as bad as what we initially thought. But still, he doesn't have his boots of travel yet.
No, and it's still going to be, what, you know, at least 2 or 3 more minutes. If he farms really, really efficiently, he could probably have them at the 11 or 12 minute mark, which isn't bad. I mean, he's gone in for the Soul Ring beforehand, so it wasn't a real rush. Funnick getting netted in bottom lane.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane. Funnick in trouble. Song's available. Maybe can bait it out. Goes for the Centaur. Tries to run through. The stomp is there. No Song used. He doesn't have mana, actually, as he throws the Riptide. Funnick comes back in. Havosta's here. He has his ultimate soon. Oh, this could be bad. They've just corralled themselves. They're going to go for the TP out, but Havost can cancel. Kills off one. Does not cancel the TP on the other. No Roar ready for that, but Havost has Eclipse now. Could go for another kill if they're not careful.
Yeah, Yamaha just gonna back way off. He knows better than to try to engage this one. As soon as Puppey hits level 6, though, again, I can't emphasize enough how scared I am for Aware as soon as that happens. 'Cause I just feel like they don't have anything good to deal with the power of the Beastmaster and the Ember Spirit and the Centaur. That's just too much.
Na'Vi have also held on to all their towers, and they'll go into the mid game with the dire advantage. The Ancients are still freed for them to farm. Normally, if you take this early tier 1, it's a lot easier to just come in and try and steal their Ancients, contest them. You don't have to walk up the river. You've got 2 ways in, but they won't have access to that, and neither team looking to stack them yet. But I imagine as we go towards the mid game, somebody will get back to it. In the meantime, well, it's not a level 6 Rubik yet. Can't steal Eclipse if Havost chooses to use it, and Na'Vi will back off in the end for now, but you just look at their levels overall, and they are looking good so far. Experience is fairly close, but they are in the lead there. Gold, also a fairly close lead for them. A lot of Aware's draft is just not ready yet. The Boots of Travel aren't there. Lolik just got the gold for it. Ancient Apparition just got his ultimate. And Naga does not yet have Relic. So they're doing a good job of hanging on, but now Stress, he'll get caught out. Double damage rune from Dendi, ticking him low. Not able to bring him down, though. Ancient Apparition ult now comes in. Will there be any sort of follow-up to this? Centaur ult is available. He'll Spirit forward, slashes through, still gets the kill. And it cost them a Naga ult as well.
Yeah, and that's the 182nd Naga ultimate. She's still only sitting at level 8, so that's... Now they have to play even more careful. No Song TPs. The Naga has to be very careful just farming on her own. None of that free getaway stuff. And also, while that Song is down, I feel like as soon as Na'Vi take tier 1 mid and maybe tier 1 bottom, neither of which are going to last that long unless the Tinker dedicates a lot to defending them, they can basically take the Roshan for free anytime that Naga Song is down. Just with their lineup, with the Luna aura, with the Beastmaster aura, with the Venomancer wards, they have so many good ways of doing... Oh, Venomancer hooked top lane.
Yeah, it goes right onto Crow, who does not have a point in the ultimate. He'll start dropping some wards here. Net follows up, and the HF personal. That's some hate for Kuroki. But they do secure the kill. And meanwhile... maybe a little bit excessive.
Yeah. But, 40-second cooldown. No big deal.
Yeah, it's not like they blew a Naga Song for that. And speaking of Naga, Yamaha has, but this will be a really fast Radiance if they don't do something. So, has not really gone for any big items yet. We don't even see a Ring of a Kill. Just the casual Bassi and no bottle either as the safe lane Naga. So, Yamaha, if left alone, maybe it is a slight problem for Na'Vi. Although I feel like their draft is prepared to just go 60 minutes and deal with the illusions. Like I mentioned, the Luna and Ember, probably 2 of the best heroes just to kill off even farmed Naga illusions later on.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm curious, I would expect Dendi to go into a Battle Fury at some point just because you know that it's the Naga illusions. I know it's not really the traditional mid lane build, but against illusion heroes, it's something I like in particular. But he has gone in for the early drum, so he wants to be a little bit more active, doesn't want to go into kind of a farming mode. No, that suits Dendi more than anything else. Go out there, get kills, make it happen.
Yeah, you kind of just need drums if you go phase boots, because that hero is very mana intensive. We saw a lot of players try to get mana boots, but as of late, the phase bottle drums has been generally the more popular build. Just gives you like more late game potential with the chasing power and the stats, and ultimately Arcane boots I think a little excessive in terms of the mana they give you. So I like this build a lot.
I think it depends. I like the bottle in particular, just the the phase drum bottle, because of how easy it is to abuse the bottle. Dandy might be in trouble. He just got caught by rockets in an AAL. He's done.
I think if he had faded in time, he might have lived. Does the missile still hit you? I think it doesn't hit you if you fade, right?
I don't know. I would gamble that it doesn't.
Radiant's
a lot of those targeted skills won't.
Attack.
But I don't want to lock myself in on that answer.
You don't want to get flamed by chat too hard.
Twitch chat, please.
That's mercy, please. I'm pretty sure it doesn't hit you if you fade in time, but I could be wrong. Either way, might have. I don't think he would have died just to the Enchant Rush at all. So, in the end, they get the kill of Dendi.
Clockwork Rocket. They could have killed him too.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll hit you in Viz just fine.
Yeah, Enchant Rush comes in. It's a big one, long range. Hook shots there. Follow up from Shaco is on the mark, and will get the kill. And now the Venomancer falls as well. So a 2-for-1 or 2-for-0. The tower being the one, I guess, but They do not manage to deny it in the end, but I like how Aware's playing this, just not just sitting back. As soon as they get their ultimates online, they just start going for kills.
Yeah, the global power of the Tinker is really showing right here. He's got the Ember Spirit.
Lol.
The mid lane.
Just threw like the 3 spirits right on top of the Rubik and insta gives him from full HP. Now he's going.
Sounds like Ember Spirit.
Yeah, pretty much. So Gloves of Haste up. Guessing it's a Maelstrom. I'd be very surprised to see a Midas, but you never know, I guess.
I would gamble on the Maelstrom, and yeah, that's for the earlier game. That's perfectly good for dealing with the early Naga illusions as well before they've tanked up. So I'm totally okay with that if he wants to be active and deny the split push early on and try to kind of engage a little bit sooner rather than going for a Battle Fury and saying, okay, I can just win against her late.
Yeah, you can also. I've seen some players will just go Maelstrom into Battle Fury, which it's just like
why not?
Yeah, they still work fine together, and ultimately, like you said, Maelstrom is just lets you fight constantly, and it's still pretty cost-effective damage. Scales fairly well in the late game, so. They're scouting out the Roche attempt right now. Navi, rocket splashing in. Not able to fully commit to this one. H-Apparitional will connect on 3, and the rocket spam, it's enough to bring down the Venomancer. Then there's a hook shot in as well. But it looks like Dendi managed to make his way out safely with the Spirit, so will barely survive.
I think one more tick and he would have died. He was at like 100 out of 1062, and when that last tick hit.
These guys are gonna make me. They're gonna make me earn my bread here with the Blink Dagger on Tinker, the Ember who can jump all over the place, Centaur with the Blink ult, and then like all your global spells as well. So this will be a true test this game.
Well, they're making me eat my words about that Tinker. I thought he was going to take a lot of pressure in the mid game, but the way they're using him, how aggressively they're playing with those maxed missiles, with the Ancient Apparition ultimate. Oh, Yamaha gonna get blown up, maybe with the Eclipse.
Yeah, maybe, definitely, but backup has arrived. Navi will lose too. Havos as well as Funnick both fall. It's a 2 for 2. The Naga fell. Did buy her Radiance in time, though. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a pretty good trade for Aware. They get 2 core heroes. They only lose 1, and nothing big in terms of item progression was lost.
Yeah, and one of the kills went the way of the Tinker. He got the experience. The Clockwork got the other one. So the other 2 cores of the team are the ones getting this extra farm. You know what? Honestly, I'm pulling for Aware in this mid game. I think if they execute really, really well with the amount of pressure and counter pressure they're putting on, they can slow Na'Vi down enough that they're going to be able to take it before any of this scary quad core lineup comes online fully.
Yeah, speaking of the quad core, Puppey is as poor as like any old support. Sure, he's got his level 7 Beastmaster hero that will scale a bit better. As we see, there's a rocket scout out the pit. Not going for Puppey, but yeah, he's level 7. He's only taken the 1 point wild axes, so I imagine what we'll see from him is some more points, even just in like Inner Beast now, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, especially Inner Beast with the Luna Aura makes everyone on your team a little bit of a right.
This is so obnoxious. Oh my
Poor
god.
Teddy.
He enters the lane. They just instantly, the double rockets come out. The Ancient Apparition ult is there, and I guess he just doesn't want to blow the Flame Guard unnecessarily. So yeah, he's got the regen rune will pop in now, but they are not having fun. This is like a mass BKB mandatory kind of game for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I will say they've done very, very well at keeping damage off of all of their tier 1s. Not a single tier 1 below half health right now. And with Tinker able to kind of get around the map, and anytime he's not ganking, pressure any lane he feels like, that's pretty well done. They managed to keep their lanes pushed out enough that they're not giving away that free gold. Smoke, though.
Uh-oh. Hawk has spouted out. It's spotted out Mr. X here, and yeah, nowhere for him to go but back to the well. Well initiated by Na'Vi. They get the kill, and I imagine we'll just see them go for Roche. It's still a bit risky, though. Clockwork actually does have buyback. If Na'Vi see that he buys back, they're just going to look to retreat immediately, I imagine, but
well, taken out on Tinker.
They don't have Eclipse for 15 seconds either. Song also online. Here comes the Tinker. He'll start spamming the March, spamming the Rockets as well. Naga Illusions will give him some vision. Now the Clockwork buyback. Roche dropping very low. Na'Vi gonna commit to this one. Well, they'll get the Roche. They drop a Spirit on the high ground. In come the Naga Illusions, starting to burn Na'Vi down a bit. The Rocket spam is real. And Na'Vi need to get the hell out. Another Rocket on Havos. That's gonna pop the Aegis. Will they kill him for round 2? Well, they got the Aegis. They get the gold, but this spam is just brutal.
Yes, he's gone for the Dagon for the extra burst build. If he can just chase people down, there's so much damage potential just coming out of that Tinker. You know, we were expecting him to go for a little bit more. Ooh, top lane maybe? No, he's just going to back up. He sees the Tinker port.
Okay, went for that solo kill in the Ancient Apparition. I was like, wait a second, is he running from the Ancient Apparition? But yeah, with the Tinker showing up, Dagon at the ready. He will back off. So, in the end, I don't know. I feel like this is like the Dota equivalent of, asking people to get out of the trenches in World War I and just charge, towards the enemy lines. You're gonna get hit by all kinds of artillery.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
the material that Aware have to bring to bear is just insane.
Tower is under
Well,
attack.
also just the mental game that has to be involved right here. I mean, you know that the AA ult is almost always up unless you've just seen it land. So Na'Vi, anywhere they go, they have to be kind of watching the whole map. Is that projectile firing? And it's incredibly hard to see, even with good warding.
Oh, they found Puppey here, just gets tasered by Lolik. The HF personal comes in, but it was after the kill. They didn't even need the ult. Lolik just making the plays, and we thought Na'Vi had the lockdown for him, but it seems that they just can't deal with him.
Yeah, have we seen a Beastmaster roar yet? I haven't seen one, I don't think.
Well, how can you roar that which comes out of the trees? Yeah, how can you roar when you're dead? That which comes out from around the trees and hides in the trees and zaps you from the trees. This is some next level Tinker play. Poke shot. Oh.
Do it with
Barely failing to connect. Now we'll scout with the rocket, but they already had some vision here. Na'Vi should know about this ward. We'll see if they look to deward it soon. But I don't know. Na'Vi will have like a strong timey window. BKB is going to come out now here for
Dyer's top
Floss.
tower is under
They
attack.
might go for one on Dendi next. And I was going to say they have the Aegis, but he lost the Aegis earlier, so
Not anymore.
can they fight with the BKB is the question. Aware,
Dyer's
I don't
top
know.
tower is under
It could
attack.
end up being a double-edged sword for Havos. Maybe he just ends up getting focused during BKB.
Well, yeah, I think if you just have the one BKB, then I don't think you can deal with just, 5 people right-clicking you during a song. Because, of course, you have the Naga song into net. It's now level 2 song, so it'll be up a reasonable amount of the time. Like, whenever Havos Eclipse is up, the Naga song will be up. So anytime Na'Vi wants to engage, Aware will be able to counter-engage. So
Yeah.
then I would worry about trying to engage with just a single BKB. I think you need 2, because I think he needs help. Because if he gets focused during song, then just as soon as the song's over, there's no other BKBs up. Aware just does the same thing they've been doing all the game with the rocket spam. They lay down some marches during the song, and it just gets brutal from there.
Well, do Na'Vi want to take this late? I mean, sure, they have great heroes to deal with Naga Illusion. Sure, they've got
Dyer's bottom
3,
tower is under
arguably
attack.
4 late game heroes. Oh, Puppey. He's going to find Radager, who's trying to rush a Midas here. Will he go for the TP out? Not even going to attempt it. Save your gold, my friend. No. And he will do so. Tinker TP's in, but it's already a bit too late. Now, looking for the hook shot. Clockwork not going to go for it in the end.
Dyer's bottom tower is
They
under
do slow down.
Come
It seems like both teams want to take this late. You've seen the greedy
Dyer's
builds from
structures
Na'Vi,
are fortified.
especially with the Midas Rush, the 4-core lineup. And now we're seeing a somewhat greedy style from Aware, going for a Midas on their each apparition. So I feel like both teams are pretty confident in their late game, and we'll just have to see who actually has the better late game hippie.
Yeah, I think if it goes ultra late, like, 80 minutes style late, I do favor Na'Vi, but I think Aware can take enough of an advantage off of this Tinker pressure and off the Radiant split push from the Naga that they need to have a lot of time to get their farm up. Na'Vi do.
Yeah, they're fairly mobile on Navi's side, like pretty fast heroes, some mobility skills, but they don't have anyone on the level of a Tinker or a Boots of Travel Naga. So it also does seem like Na'Vi could get a bit outmaneuvered in the mid game if they're not anticipating Aware's movements. Like if they smoke gank the Tinker right as he Boots of Travels into a lane, then they can deal with the pressure, but
Dyer's
if they're not
middle
getting
tower is
kills,
under attack.
Aware should have at some point the creep equilibrium advantage, I would feel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think, anticipating movements is one of the most critical parts of playing against any sort of split pushing team, especially a Tinker. You want to say, where is he going to go next? Is he going to go back to the same lane? Is he going to go somewhere else? I think good warding is going to be an absolutely critical thing for Na'Vi here. They need to be able to see whether the Tinker's farming Ancients, whether he's, out of mana. If you can keep an eye on his mana, know he's going to go back to pool, know that you have a little bit of time to engage on somebody else maybe, know where that Clockwork is at all times, know where the real Naga is if at all possible, and know when the AA is firing his ult. There's so many things you have to keep an eye on to be able to play effectively against this. So I would honestly almost like an early gem from Na'Vi to do some counter warding and to get themselves some really, really good map control, because you want Aware to be playing scared if at all possible. Rubik has Remnants.
Uh-oh, Stress. He steals the Remnants, tries to get out, but Dendy's already chased to where his Remnant is. There's nowhere to go. He will fall. Meanwhile, in the trees, Funnick is waiting, maybe trying to go for a kill here. Mid lane, Ancient Apparition will connect. Are they going to dive mid with the Tinker? Oh, top lane. It's Yamaha they've gone in on. Drop the Beastmaster Roll, get the kill. And now Lolink on the high ground. Denny's going to orb right on top of him with the Remnant. The hook shot's there. Now the cogs come in. Battle Fury gets, or rather, Blade Mail gets popped. And Denny says, I've had enough of this. Away he goes. But Na'Vi getting 2 kills. The Naga also went down top lane, so they lost 2 crucial heroes there.
Yeah, getting the roof picked off, never a good thing. If the Tinker, if Dendy had hung around just a second longer, Tinker could have just come back in and blown him up before he could even get the Flame Guard off. DD Dendy trying to snipe in from behind.
You know what I'm wondering is, will he actually go for what Hani did the other day and just go dig on 5? Oh, he actually kills the Venno with the snipes. That's what I missed. But yeah, Dendy, as you mentioned, looking for the backstab here. Apparition, nothing to hit because they're already at the well. They're already back at the well. We'll connect on Mr. X here at the tower. Will there be a dive? Nothing yet. This Tinker's doing work though, man.
He is, man. He's being a monster. And you know, we saw the last big Tinker. I was like, all right, you know, it's a Tinker. We can see what they can get out of that. But I don't know if you expected him to be this effective. I really didn't. I'm very, very impressed right now with Lolink.
I mean, it kind of. I thought Na'Vi had pretty good lockdown for him with the Beastmaster, but he's just been one step ahead of them, honestly. And now the pressure starts to mount, where the Naga's farming all of Na'Vi's woods. Na'Vi can't really get into the enemy jungle because they've only taken a single tower protecting it, just the tier 1 bottom. And as a result, I'm not sure if Na'Vi will actually continue out farming Aware for much longer. They're up by 5k gold, but the graph is sharply tipping up the other direction.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, Puppy's with me. He got his hands on a gem, which has now been handed off to Kuroki. So they're going to be trying to get some counter warding going and try to get themselves some of this much, much needed map control.
It is tough, though. With all the lanes pushing in.
Yeah.
They can also give a gem to the Naga, which I would expect to see soon from Aware. But yeah, all the illusions get the true sight. She can be very effective in dewarding in her own right.
Well, on top of that, I mean, with a globally powerful lineup like this, it's so dangerous to be running around dewarding, especially as a solo support. Kuroki needs help if he wants to do any sort of dewarding.
Yeah, he can't really go on his own.
He just dies, and they lose the gem.
Yeah, that's a good point. In terms of the Ancients, looks like they did not stack just now, but we should be seeing just more stacking, more farming. Mjolnir was completed up on Dendy, so no Battle Furies early on. There's still the Naga illusions to worry about, and later on in the game, the Maelstrom Chain Lightning is not that effective when the Naga illusion has like a heart, Manta, maybe one more item on top of that. Maybe we even see a Linked Sphere, but yeah, I feel like for now the Mjolnir's fine, but later on they'll need some Battle Furies, or they'll need Havos just to be, well, what he's well on his way to, which is 6-slotted.
Yeah, I don't honestly love spending the gold on Mjolnir on Ember, because a lot of times in team fights you're trying to sit back. I mean, you're a very, very fragile hero naturally. You're sitting back trying to do a lot of your damage with Sleight of Fist, so that you're not getting the benefit of that Hyperstone. You're not getting really much use out of the 80 attack speed. Oh, Yamaha top lane.
There's a blank initiation, gets off the Song, but Havos already BKB'd. Song's been wasted, now the hook's off the mark as well. And Havos still has his ultimate. I don't know if they want to dive him. They're still chasing like they do. This Rubik, oh, he's only stolen a Lucent Beam. Now Denny comes in, Sleight of Fist onto 2, Spirit over the top, brings them all down. Oh boy, that's 3 dead. This is going to be 4. It's all coming apart. Na'Vi hit the kill switch. And Aware are going to spend some time reevaluating their decision making as Na'Vi take their tier 2 top.
Top tower
One overextension turning into something like that, and that, you can't get a much better 10-second BKB than Havos got right there. He blocks the damage from the, so they missed the hook shot to try and lock him down. He blocks the burst damage from the Ancient Apparition ultimate. He's, you know, the Tinker rockets weren't hitting on him, so as soon as he wanted to turn around and fight, as soon as his team got there, Dendy got that, he was still in perfectly fine health. They hadn't been able to pressure him at all, so that Eclipse was just free. Even though the BKB was over, him being at full health meant that he could just go right back in very, very safely. That was beautiful. And now a pipe out on Funnick. Item that's fallen out of favor, but I think in this game, that is an excellent, excellent choice. Well, deal with that Tinker.
Item that sometimes is never bought, but in a game like this, where there's H Apparition, there's Tinker, and Naga Radiance, is just a mandatory pickup, I feel. Or you get 5 BKBs, but even then, the pipe is still... Yeah,
I think so too. I agree with that it's mandatory like that, but at the same time, I've seen teams just skip it. I'm like bashing my head against my desk, like, what are you doing? Look at the team you're up against, you know?
They clearly haven't heard Winter Casty enough. Mr. Pipe definitely approves. But yeah, Na'Vi, the gem is up now. It is still up on Kuroki, so they've established some better map control. And if you're aware, he's probably the one hero you'd love to gank. Pretty easy kill. and an important one, too. Well, I say pretty easy. He is fairly tanky, but no escape mechanism. Unfortunately, they don't know what he's up to, and he's farming just very efficiently. Like, hiding over here, he's got wards up on the high ground, and he knows that there's no vision because of that. So, Aware, not able to secure the kill in the end.
Yeah, he's honestly been doing for a lot of the game just kind of an EGM-style Venomancer that we used to see, where, oh, Radiance is going to go in onto Kuroki, but it's just not going to be enough damage to get him down. The Riptide misses, so he's not in any real danger from these Naga illusions.
Everyone on Navi is just trying to tank up. Like, Puppy's gone for Vanguard and Cloak. They're all just getting, basically, HP items, so they can live through the Magic Burst.
Yeah, and the Cloak, I mean, the Casual Cloak on Puppy, I love that as well. I mean, I still think Casual Cloak is occasionally underbought as well against lineups like these, and just people willing to go in for it. Because ever since the price change, you know, what was that, 15 patches ago? I know it was ages ago, but still, it used to be like the #1, oh, there's some magic damage on the other team, Casual Cloak, done.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the investment, and maybe we don't see it for everyone, but just those heroes who have the extra item slots, it's worthwhile. Well, as for Aware, pretty awful team fight, as we've, I think, thoroughly mentioned at this point, but they're still a good turtling lineup. Na'Vi don't have the easiest time breaking the base, but just a few more good pickoffs, and they will. They'll find Stress Mid, and he'll go down again. And these are kills that Aware cannot give up. They give up a kill or two like that, and suddenly Na'Vi take tier 2s, they take full map control, and then it's one bad fight away from losing their base. So we'll see if Na'Vi push off of this, but it seems they want to. Well, they'll go Rosh instead.
Rosh again, yeah. I think that's the thing. We were talking about how the Tinker was one step ahead. Aware was executing very, very well. They were always just in the right place at the right time. And as soon as they kind of lost that momentum, they're having a really, really hard time getting back kind of in step with the pace of the game. They look like they're one step behind now. They're the ones who are kind of a little bit worried about, oh, we're getting caught out of position. And if they can't kind of recover from that loss, this is going to snowball very, very quickly in the other direction from what looked like a very strong mid-game from Aware.
Yeah. Na'Vi, it's just you make one misstep, and they don't just, like, take a kill or two. They take huge swaths of territory and advantage, and the graph just plummets against you. They're just they're a team that has one of the strongest killer instincts in the scene. Like, sure, they lose games that they shouldn't, and they make, you know, sometimes Na'Vi plays a little cocky, but they also know how to just press the kill switch, like I was mentioning earlier, just go win the game immediately off of one misplay. So, but with that being said, it's a big game for Na'Vi here. They got the forfeit win against Insane earlier, but they have to win all 4 games to be, I think, to be 100% guaranteed of moving on. Coming up after this match should be Na'Vi's match versus Sigma, who knocked themselves out of any chance of advancement. Oh, Eclipse got stolen. Rubik stole level 3 Eclipse. Havos? Really? How has Havos not used the spell since he last used Eclipse? Oh my goodness. He almost might die here. The pipe will block that magic missile, or that rocket damage, and narrowly lives, but that is definitely a classic 4 moment. Using Eclipse, still having it as your last used spell almost 2-3 minutes later. Oh boy.
Well, like, you know that if Rubik's just looking for a casual spell to steal, Lucent Beam is perfectly good for Rubik, man. Adding 300 burst damage to him on that short of a cooldown, beautiful, beautiful spell. So you know he's going to be looking to steal from you all the time if he just doesn't have a spell handy. That's
Yep. Wow. There's nothing else to say. Shouldn't have happened, but it did. And, well, Rubik's, like, great. At the same time, though, Na'Vi have so much just durability against magic damage that they may still live through it anyway. They've got the BKB on Havost. He's got Aegis anyway. Funnick has the pipe. Dendi has his own spell shield and the Flame Guard. Plus, they've got some casual cloaks, just a lot of casual HP items. So, oh, we'll see. He's going to get clipped here by the Enchant Merchant ult, though, Havost. Be ticking quite low here. I don't know if he's going to go. Yes, he will. Rocket comes in. Say goodbye to your Aegis. And Funnick is just taunting him with some stomps here on the ground. Saying, you numbskull, get your act together.
So that's not twice that Aegis has just been popped off by global spells.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point it's like abandon all hope, ye who enter, of ever having an Aegis when you try and break our base.
Well, it's good. I mean, it's a good way to set up the turtling, use that global power, keep Na'Vi not only afraid to push into your towers, but keep the lanes pushed out with the global power, keep their heroes scared that you're going to have that AA ultimate coming in, that you're going to have those clockwork rockets, that the Tinker could be on top of you with the missiles. Because if they're not together as 5, they don't have the advantage of that pipe. Havos doesn't want to burn his BKB just to have to live through things like that, because then they know they can't fight. Although, wow. 33 minutes, Satanic Butterfly BKB Manta. That is a tremendously farmed Luna. 304 CS.
I do want to say, though, this Naga play has been a bit underwhelming in the mid game. Yamaha just sent an entire army of illusions down mid. Navi can actually kill his illusions. He really needs to be spreading them out, sending some into the wood, some into the side lanes, maybe one mid, or keeping some in reserve. Because if you just send all of the illusions one way and they have pretty much any of their heroes, but especially Dendi and Havost, you just lose all your illusions, and they're on cooldown for close to a solid 40 seconds. So you're not pushing out the lanes during that time. So
And you're
that's why she's not
underutilizing the
farming.
Radiance burn.
He's pretty underfarmed.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at him in comparison to Havost. He's 6,000 gold behind. And part of that is, a couple of
Radiant's
extra
bottom
deaths. Part of that is
tower
Havost
is
getting
under
kills.
attack.
It's tower gold, but still,
Radiant
6,000 gold.
structures are fortified.
That's a Naga. She should outfarm everyone.
Yeah, illusions are gone now, and here comes the siege from Navi. At least they'll attempt for it. Spirits go. Dendi's just gonna jump away right as Funnick goes in. A bit of a miscue here. Now the stolen Rubik Eclipse comes out, but he kills himself to Funnick. Dendi actually the one to finish him off, but Funnick, well, just too tanky, too survivable. So in the end, the stolen Eclipse was not very effective after all.
I mean, he kind of knew that he had to just burn it and try to get it off because he knew he was going to die no matter what. The Sleight of Fist was coming back in. He was at almost no life. It was a no-win situation for him, I feel like. So he just wanted to get out the damage. And because he's got a little bit of that damage, Na'Vi has to be somewhat more careful about pushing in right here.
Yeah, in the end, the Eclipse does nothing. Daedalus is up on Dendi, and Na'Vi might break this base yet. They just keep on slashing through these illusions. They just die instantly. The Naga is almost useless with Ember and Luna both this farm, and she's not sending her illusions to cut the waves. She's not sending them to the other lanes that aren't being pressured, and frankly, she's just not doing anything at this stage.
I mean, it's just an underutilization of the hero, basically. I mean, when we see this Naga, when we see how strong she can be with that Radiance, it's because of how much kind of pressure everywhere on the map she's able to exert at all times.
They're gonna go for a song here. What are they following it up with is the question. They do have Cogs available. Havost, however, has BKB, has Eclipse at the ready. Rubik will be looking to steal it. Can he get it off in time? He lifts. He drops back down. No, not gonna happen. Havost cheers through everyone. Easiest triple kill. 3 dead. It could soon be 4 as Na'Vi pushed through the bottom lane. And no song left. There's nothing behind this. So clean up the illusions. Na'Vi are just way too good at killing off those illusions. Honestly, as much as the Naga plays have been the best, this is just not a good Naga game. They will lose Kuro here, but I don't know. Maybe they do hold. Ancient Apparition ult comes through. Dendi trying to dodge it, not successful. In the end, Aware. They stand their ground. They do defend. They lost their tier 3. They lost their Ajax, but they defend the melee for now.
Yeah, it did cost them a buyback on that Naga Siren. So, it was, on the one hand, I mean, she's even now a little bit even more far behind than she was, which is obviously not a good sign. She really, really needs a heart for those illusions. I mean, you imagine how fast they're cleaving through them. She doesn't even have a Reaver. She's just sitting on about 2,700 gold.
She needs a heart, she needs a butterfly.
She needs so much stuff.
She needs to be 6-slotted, like, already, I feel.
I mean, that's kind of part of the hero. I mean, it's like a Luna. It's like someone like an anti-mage, and just if they're left alone to farm, you should be 6-slotted so fast it should be blowing the other team's minds, and it just didn't happen.
Mind equals not blown, so far. But the thing is, even if he gets 6-slotted, then we get to the situation you mentioned of who actually has the better 60 to 70 minute late game. Maybe with the Ancient Apparition, if he's able to hit like a 4 or 5 hero ultimate, you could argue Aware are equally good there, but I feel like Navi's is just a lot easier to execute. The Luna can just run in, start killing stuff with the Glaives. The Ember can just slash through, get a lucky crit, potentially just instantly kill one support, 1,000 HP on stress, your Ancient Apparition 1,200, and he'll have more items. So I feel like Aware's late game, just the harder to execute. And a hero like Tinker, we saw in that 70-plus metagame that Koikfa played for Liquid for the Starladder North America Grand Finals. Very easy. You can play a flawless game for 70 minutes. You make one mistake as Tinker, and your team can just lose.
Yeah, that was an incredible game, harkening back to that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see that, but hey,
no, I wouldn't think so.
Fingers crossed that we do. I would definitely love that.
I do think that Na'Vi, I mean, any misstep from Aware, not only is their lineup harder to execute, but the Centaur ultimate and the Blink make it very, very, very easy. And, frankly, Puppy's Roar make it very easy to punish any bad positioning coming out of Aware. So they have to be completely perfect all the time to not just lose. That is so many robots in their base right now. Holy crap. Maybe it's because they were going different directions, but that looked like 4 rotations of March. I know it wasn't.
Yeah, I am robot, apparently. Well,
I am
Navi.
robot and so can you.
Yeah, that movie is just ugh. What was that the name of it? The Will Smith one?
It was iRobot? Yeah.
iRobot.
Read the book. The movie has nothing to do with the book. Isaac
Okay.
Asimov. Everyone check it out.
Fair enough.
Ooh,
There's your Song of the Siren. This could be a good opening for the Clockwork. He's definitely going to die here, but he'll get off the blade mail, and maybe it'll be enough for the follow-up. Now the HF Rishnold coming through, but everybody's still finding the cogs for now, and Havost is just cleaning up left, right, and center. Got off the Eclipse, just butchers the Rubik. Well, the chance of a late game hold get very slim from here. The Tinker will manage to blink away, spamming out rockets, but already they've lost some more racks. Dendy finds an additional kill in the HF Rishnold on the backside of the fight, and with 4 heroes dead, it's just a perfect opportunity for Havost to walk into by a casual heart, pick it up in the enemy well, and now he truly is immortal. 3,600 HP, 28 armor. There's no killing Havost from here.
Yeah, this is done, especially with that top racks down. There's just too much pressure now for Aware to deal with. The Naga's just not fat enough. I really think, I agree with you. I wasn't really looking at it in the mid game, but when you pointed out that she was stacking her illusions a lot, you know, it came back to me. She didn't really use him to farm the jungle that effectively. She didn't use him to cut lanes. She just didn't get the gold she needed for the entirety of the game. And the Tinker did such a good job keeping Na'Vi down early.
Yeah, it wasn't just... I'm not so sure about her mid-game farm just because, like you, I was not really keeping my eyes on her, but you shouldn't send 3 illusions right at an Ember Spirit who's got Mjolnir and Daedalus because he's just going to kill them, and then you have nothing to split push for 40 seconds, so... Well, that definitely hurt them, but Na'Vi, they found that one good fight top, Hippie, and from there, they killed him. Like, there was no coming back after that fight. Or if there was, it certainly wasn't going to happen with the way they were playing.
Yeah, I liked your description. They have the strongest kill switch in Dota. Was it Bucking Mad, I think, who actually said something like Na'Vi is a scary team because no matter what position the game is in, you can lose a fight and then just lose the game against them. Someone said that.
It happened to Sigma, actually, so it's funny that he's the one that you're quoting for that.
I think it was him.
It happened to them at Starladder Season 8. They had like almost a 30k gold lead, and they were on track to I think it was to force a game 3, and they ended up just losing anyway. Classic Na'Vi.
Na'Vi is scary.
Yes, good. They're a good team. And Aware, definitely a team that, you know, as much as people are gonna be like, "Well, Aware's so bad. Give me your rares, please." They're actually pretty good at times. Like, sure, they're not as polished as Na'Vi. Sure, they don't show that top level decision making, but there's so many teams at CIS that have that potential where if they could just put it together and have the right decisions, like they have the mechanics, they have the individual play where they could beat a team like Na'Vi. Maybe not consistently, but, you know, teams like Power Rangers. I think CIS has one of the most, if not the most, robust amateur scenes out there. So, looking forward to seeing more of Aware in the future. But today is not their day. Today is Na'Vi's day. Well, Hippie, thanks for joining me, buddy.
Absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were still there. So.
No, I'm still there. I was pondering. Yeah, I think I would agree with you about the CIS scene. I think Power Rangers is probably the best example of a team that a few seasons ago in Starladder, they're like playing, they're winning a couple games here and there, and now they're terrifying. Those guys are amazing. I love watching them.
All right, Hippie, we've got one more game coming up. If you want to stick around with it, you're welcome to. But real quickly, where can people find you? How can they support you?
Guys, if you want to check me out on Twitter, it's @HippieCasting. Very simple. And if you have any feedback, I'm taking the base kip route. You can email me, hippiecasting@gmail.com. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what I can improve on. Please, I want to hear from everybody. Thank you.
It's a good barrier to entry because people have to put a little thought into writing an email. So I like that approach as well. You weed out some of the Twitch
LOL
shit.
noob.
Lol. All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks for joining. We've got one more match coming up, Na'Vi versus Sigma. And then in the studio, well, coming up right after this. Stay tuned.